Welcome back to Terror by the Bay. I'm David. All right. Went to the community page for comments. Interesting question somebody asked. How is Biden feeling about the last week? And I think I would take it even further. How is Biden feeling about the past 3 weeks? Since withdrawing his candidacy and putting his support behind Kamala Harris, he has started a process that is like a snowball going downhill, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it seems unstoppable at this point. Certainly, it's all the buzz. It's sucked up all the oxygen out of the room. Trump can't get control of the narrative anymore. It's all about Kamala Harris, and her pick of Tim Walz has captured the media's imagination. The Walz-Harris rallies are packed, waiting lists to get in type of thing. And Trump's rallies are half filled. And there's standing room only for Kamala Harris, and people can't get in. So there's a lot of enthusiasm from the American people about this. So much so that the corporate media can't ignore it. And this all stemmed from Joe Biden stepping back. Pressured? Absolutely. But also probably searching his soul, trying to figure out what was the right thing to do. And I want to look at the energy around him because he should be feeling pretty damn smug right now. Okay? Entertainment purposes only. What's the energy around Joe Biden over how everything's panned out for Kamala Harris over the last 3 weeks? Foundation of the reading is the Ace of Pentacles. Huge opportunity. Big push. It's like either one of them could have run, but who knew how big this could get? It's a huge opportunity for Kamala Harris as well. Crossed by the Tower in the Knight of Swords is the underlying energy. In order to give Kamala the big push, he himself had to step down suddenly, unexpectedly. And I'm sure he feels that his health is fine. He could have delivered this message. This race to knock him down. This was like a race of corporate media to knock him down. But what rose from the ashes is a huge opportunity for Kamala Harris. Yeah, in the past, here's your corporate media, oligarchs. The big money was basically threatening to withhold money unless Biden stepped down. And that's where the pressure came in, was the finances. And Biden is a savvy enough politician that he understands that without money, the Democratic candidates, the down ticket candidates, aren't going to do well. And this is what he's going to have to do, is make a rash decision, maybe that he wasn't ready for. Current situation is the Wheel of Fortune. I think, with this opportunity, he is watching how things unfold, how things are not unraveling, but unfolding over time. So far, everything looks fantastic. This looks like it was the right decision made on his part. Again, this is a card of free will. He made a free will choice. I still think he would have been able to win on Trump, but by stepping down, all the momentum is now with Kamala, to the point where there's rumblings about, replacing J.D. Vance, or maybe even replacing Trump, because now Trump's the old man, with the failing memory and the verbal gaffes and things along those lines. It's kind of like what comes around goes around, Donald. I'm no longer the oldest guy anymore. You're the oldest guy. And now you, Donald Trump, get to go through all the same things that I just went through. Overarching energy is the Three of Wands. 3 months to go. He's waiting. I think he fully expects Kamala Harris to land this plane. She's going to bring the ship all the way to shore. Lesson we learned is the Hermit. He had to retreat to allow somebody else to take the mantle and move forward. Ego-wise, I'm sure this sucked. I'm sure this decision that he made sucked, and I'm sorry for that. That's where I think it's unfair. He did such a nice job, but it could also be it was time for him to step down, and life started becoming very difficult until he did that. How many presidents could we say would actually do what Biden did? He's remarkable. Remarkable man. The outcome was the Queen of Cups. Kamala Harris is putting a lid on this election. It's like she's got it in the cup here. It's in the bag. It's sealed. Signed, sealed, delivered. It's almost like this saying, this is Kamala's election to lose, and she's got the election in that cup, and the lid's on the cup. She's not losing this election. What's next for Joe Biden? Just a general reading on Joe Biden. What is next? If I were doing, like Joe were sitting across from me right now and he was to ask, okay, well, what do I ask? Like, how about just do a general reading? What does Spirit want you to know? What's going on in your life, or what are you facing next, or something along those lines? Yep. Nice open-ended question, and it can go anywhere. So let's see. What's next for Joe Biden? Let's kind of just, what's going on? What's next for him? The Hermit card. Getting ready, finding a new path. He's about to start a new chapter in his life. He's going to get, it's almost like a visit to his old chapter where, he was the former vice president getting to spend time with his family. He's going to get to be the former president who gets to spend time with his family. But there might be some more stuff that's going on in the office. Let's see what the Hermit's crossed with. The Nine of Wands. Okay. And the Nine of Coins. I think he's going to focus on running the country. There are things that he still wants to do. He's got his plan. He's going to move forward with his plan. Underneath it all is the Nine of Coins. Luxury, value. It's funny. He's got the luxury to do what he wants because he's a quote-unquote lame duck president. But he's really not a lame duck president. It's kind of an interesting thing. Especially now that the Supreme Court says he's not criminally liable for anything, he do whatever he wants. But he's starting a lot of processes. He won't be able to finish them, but he's starting these processes down the path, and it's going to be dealing with money and people with lots of money. So we're talking about reform to the Supreme Court, and constitutional amendments. He won't be able to see all these things all the way through, but he's getting the process started. And, we could start looking at tax plans and things along those lines. In the past, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which was the foundation of the reading. He's given this big opportunity for Kamala to run for presidency, but it's also an opportunity for him. He's made the history books. By doing this, he has, not that he wouldn't have been in the history books anyways, but this is going to be a remarkable chapter in the history books. I don't think it'll be less remembered for the pressure or the gaffes that he was making, and more for him stepping away. That's the remarkable part. I did shuffle the deck, but I do not put the cards next to each other. They all go in different parts of the deck. Current situation is the Tower. There's a lot going on. There's something that's going down here. Bringing something down. News about... a lot of news about Russia and advances that Ukraine has made into Russia. And the U.S. announcing more military aid coming to Russia. This could also be pressure on Israel. There's a tower coming. Something's coming to an end for him quickly. And it could just be his presidency. And this could be just the presidency coming to an end. There's something. What do we got? I'm not quite sure what this is all I'm saying. Overarching energy is the Five of Wands. A lot of fighting, bickering, arguing. So much tumultuous energy that's over everything right now. Underneath it, he's trying to get maybe his last values in there. Lesson to be learned is the Ten of Coins. Him stepping down and Kamala stepping in is taking all the pressure off of him. Nobody's talking about Biden anymore. You notice that? Nobody talks about Biden. All the media, all the attention's focused on Kamala Harris. And Donald Trump doesn't have an answer for Kamala Harris. But he's undone the Trump campaign with this. Lesson to be learned. He's cemented his legacy. I'm sure corporate media is going to be alarmed too, but Biden has cemented his legacy as he passes this on to Kamala Harris. He's also, there's some money stuff he's working on here. It's all linked. Wheel of Fortune. Karma. Keeping on going through. I asked what's going on for him now. It's just more of the same. He's leaving. He's got his plan, his exit plan. He gave Kamala the reins. The Trump campaign is unraveling, which is a boon for the Democrats. They're raising money left, right, and center. There's a lot of buzz and energy around her. Money is flowing into the Harris campaign. And this is all because money that wasn't coming in for him, money's coming in for her. And she's, kind of the wealthy woman here. And I don't mean wealthy for her own personal wealth, but the Democratic Party is flush with cash, which will help the ticket on down the line. For Carter. Spiritual lesson for Joe Biden by stepping down like he did. What was the spiritual lesson for all this? God, can you imagine? I mean, it's a free will choice that he did that. But, what a lesson. In some ways, he's on parole, He gets to go back to his family. He doesn't have to run the country anymore. Spiritual lesson for Joe Biden. For Carter. The Emperor. He is not a king. He is not an emperor. He can let go of power. Emperors can't do that. Five of Coins. Seven of Wands. Four of Swords. The Supreme Court gave him the opportunity to be an emperor and rule the government. He could do whatever he wanted, and there's no criminal liability. There would be no accountability. You couldn't hold him on anything, and he could leave whenever he wanted to. He could have been dictator for life. He chose a different path. He chose the mature path. He could still fight, but he wasn't wanted anymore. I would not be surprised if this also leads to money getting out of politics. We should not have to lose a president because big money was saying that we need to get rid of this president. Very thoughtful person to step down. He's done a lot to help average people here. He's not a dictator. He's setting the standard that America is not going to fall into dictatorship. And he gives the next president a fighting chance. He's given democracy a fighting chance. He's a very inspirational person in this regard. Because you can imagine if Biden had the same moral compass as Donald Trump. He could do all sorts of stuff. And there's no legal consequences for it. All the pressuring of states to overturn election results and stuff like that. No criminality associated with it. But he showed no absolute power corrupts absolutely. He's not a king. And he's not going to rule like one. And nor should the next person, or the next person, or the next person. Until we get some legislation passed in Congress to prevent presidents from being kings. And I think he's going to get... he's shown the way. Now it's up for Congress to follow him. We'll leave it here. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for your kind words and everything you do to feed the YouTube algorithm so my video makes it out to a wider audience. I hope you found this reading insightful. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.